Thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. Selena Gomez has always been an interesting character to me, because in a world where some of the most powerful celebrities are so dedicated to putting out a highly produced image and controlling their own narrative, Selena has always worn it all on her sleeve, or in some cases, on her Instagram Live. The girl has always been polarizing. It seems like every other day, Stan Twitter is making a case as to why we should be riding or dying for her. There's a lot of history here. I mean, of course there is. She has had quite a long career in the spotlight. And so today I am going to do my due diligence to break it all down for you as best I can, at the risk of the followers of the most popular person on Instagram coming for my neck. I do this for the people. About today's sponsor, Scentbird. So, have you ever bought a bottle of full-size perfume and then used it, tried the scent out a couple times and realized that the scent isn't for you, and then you're stuck with that purchase? Well, I have good news for you because Scentbird eliminates that problem. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that allows you to try new designer fragrances each month for just $17. And with each fragrance, you'll get a 30-day supply of new fragrances before you decide to commit to buy a bottle. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the fragrances I got from Scentbird. They come in these cute little cases where you just pump like this and the fragrance comes out. They also open, and I just want to show you you're getting a pretty sizable amount of perfume for the sample that they give you, which is pretty nice because you are getting a good bang for your buck. The one that came in this little mint case is a brand called The Perfumer's Story by Ozzy, and the scent is Twisted Iris, which is a pretty cool name. It's very naturey. It has elements of violet and jasmine and other kind of like super naturey vibes, which is cool. Yellow case is by Juliet Has a Gun, which sick name, and it's called Vanilla Vibes. Pretty simple, but it's great for the holidays. I've been wearing this one to work a lot. This last one I want to show you is Hinoki and Hinoki by Scents of Wood. Hinoki is a Japanese tree, and this one has another kind of naturey, old rustic sort of scent, which is pretty cool. And I also want to show you guys, they're pretty portable. You can kind of just pop them in your bag and, you know, you're ready to go, which is great because, like I said, I wear these to work. You know, I have them in my bag in case I need them. They have perfumes, colognes, plenty of unisex options, and it's great because some of these bottles can run up from anywhere from $150 to $300, and you're getting to experience all of these scents for just $17 a month, which is pretty nice. So if you want to get started, you can click the link in the description box below, or click on the handy dandy QR code next to me right now. You can use my code KaylaSays to get 55% off on your first month, which amounts to around $8 per your first month, which is a pretty good discount if you ask me. Once again, use my code KaylaSays for 55% off. Visit the link in the description, click the QR code, and thank you so much again to Scentbird for sponsoring my video today. Okay, so I'm sure most of you know who Selena Gomez is. She was a child actor who got her start on Barney and Friends before hopping over to the Disney Channel and starring in the hit series The Wizards of Waverly Place. On Wizards, she was well received because she played Alex Russo, who was sort of a fun, punky character, and I think she was funny. She gave a lot of personality to that role. People really liked her and hold Wizards in high regard in terms of sentimentality. She also made music with her band Selena Gomez and the Scene, although she ditched the scene in her later music-making endeavors. I'm gonna take a sec to talk briefly about her music because it's not the focus of this story. We got a lot of ground to cover here, but I like it. Her stuff isn't groundbreaking, but I think she makes decent pop music. Not everyone from Disney was able to seamlessly transition their image away from a squeaky clean child actor into, you know, the sexy it girl pop girly. She pulled it off. She has some bangers. You could debate about whether or not she could actually sing. Fight it out in the comments below. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one. So the main thing about Selena Gomez that I want to focus on here today is that she seems to be a lot more of a real, raw celebrity. She has been very open about a lot of the vulnerable experiences that she's had throughout her life. She got diagnosed with lupus, which is a pretty severe autoimmune disease, and she's been open about that journey and that health battle. She also has been pretty open to talking about her experiences with mental health and depression and anxiety, and you'd think that those things would all be admirable, and I know there are a lot of people who, you know, look up to her because she has been so forthcoming about these struggles, but these things tend to get overshadowed by the relationships that she has with other people in Hollywood. She always seems to be at the center of some sort of complicated, interwoven, connected drama that is often misinterpreted through half-truths or people sleuthing on Instagram or interpreting statements that people involved have made. And I'm going to try my best to take a few of those main ones leading up to quite literally this week and break them down and try to understand why Selena is always at the center of them and maybe what it can say a little bit about her as a person that we know. Let's start with one of the easier to understand Selena scandals, the Selena, Demi, Taylor Swift vague booking triangle. Okay, so Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez were best friends from a very young age. The two came up through the Disney Channel together, and at some point they also started hanging out quite a bit with Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift. Various mixes and matches of that group were seen together throughout the early 2000s, and then speculation started to happen in 2010 when Demi Lovato was in London signing autographs, and somebody asked her how Selena was, and she replied, "Ask Taylor," implying that Taylor Swift had driven a wedge in their friendship. There was also some vague booking around this time that people assume is about Taylor. Selena denied these rumors on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, saying the two have always had love for each other. Then in 2014, Demi unfollowed Selena, and Andy Cohen asked Demi about this because Andy Cohen is a messy bitch, and she just gave sort of a vague answer that people grow apart. The two of them then had a multi-year cycle of unfollowing and refollowing, reuniting, and tweeting well wishes at one another, all while Demi routinely vague booked at Taylor Swift. Not that this is relevant, just pointing out that that's why so many people are so steadfast in thinking that this whole friendship imploded. In 2020, Demi remarked that she is not friends with Selena, and then fans accused her of having a finsta to bash Selena, but from what I can tell, this is fake, classic jobless people on the internet behavior. Also in 2020, fans began circulating images of old social media posts from Demi Lovato's fiancé at the time, claiming to have had a crush on Selena Gomez. A rep for Demi Lovato called those images doctored, but then the whole engagement ended a short time later. Since then, Selena has publicly been complimentary of Demi, but that affection does not seem to have been reciprocated. I mention all of this to say that this has started a war between Selena and Demi fans. If you search their names on Twitter, you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, controversy 1 down. Let's talk about something that's not at all significantly more complicated than that. Oh my god, I regret this so much. Okay, controversy number 2. Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber. God fucking damn it. Okay, so another notable thing about Selena Gomez is that for the better part of a decade, she had an on and off relationship with babyface singer turned human Chipotle bag Justin Bieber. This has seemingly caused complications into the present day with Justin Bieber's current wife, Hailey Bieber, formerly known as Hailey Baldwin. In the earlier years of their relationship, Hailey tweeted affectionately of the popular celebrity ship Jelena. Around 2014, Justin and Selena broke up, and Selena started dating music producer Zedd, and Hailey and Justin were seen together in 2016, and then Selena and Justin got back together in 2018, a classic love triangle situation. Then Selena and Justin broke up again, and shortly after, it was announced that Hailey and Justin were engaged. Got all that? I condensed it down for the sake of narrative brevity, and I still have a migraine. Anyway, in 2019, Selena released a song called Lose You to Love Me, where she had lyrics seemingly referencing Justin. And then Hailey sort of responds, but not really, and then Selena tells her fans not to attack Hailey because tearing down other women is bad. Basically from here, and this seems to be the case with a lot of celebrities with big fan bases, but especially Selena, Hailey would publicly ask people to stop hating on her, and then Selena would tell people to also stop doing that, but at this point in time, it felt that neither woman was really doing anything nefarious. It's just that stan culture is this toxic grip, and at some point, you can't take accountability for everything your fans do on your behalf, at least in this specific situation and this specific point in the timeline. And then it seemed like the two were on seemingly good terms. They even took some photos together. Hailey also denied claims that she stole Justin from Selena while the two were still in a relationship. And then Hailey and a couple of her famous friends posted this on TikTok.
Not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
And people thought that she was shading Selena, and apparently this video came at a time that Selena was being severely trolled online. You'll notice that happens a lot, leading people to put 2 and 2 together. Hailey denies this, and Selena kind of brushed it off. Then another old TikTok resurfaced where Hailey was seemingly making fun of Taylor Swift. Remember her? Everything is connected. Keep your third eye open, goddammit. Prompting Selena to go on the defense for her best friend, because we have to defend the billionaire white woman at every and all costs. Remember that. Then there's some drama where Kylie Jenner was accused of making fun of Selena's eyebrows, and then they were both like, oh no, this isn't shade, guys, you're just misinterpreting everything. And I'm starting to notice a pattern the more I dig in here. So I've noticed while recapping that whole ordeal that it's kind of a toxic cycle all the way down situation. Basically, it amounts to these two women who dated the same guy at different points in time, who are seemingly just trying to live their lives and then when they act out on social media without any additional context, their fans, who either are looking for drama or just looking to defend the person that they stan, read into it way too much, and that perpetuates this cycle of hate all around to everyone involved. And one thing that I can commend Selena for is that I feel like every time this happens, and believe me, there are a lot of instances of it specifically that I did not even include in that section of the video for time, she does take accountability and she does tell her fans to stop doing that. And I can personally attest to the fact that there are certain fan bases who just kind of run wild, and their, idol does not address that kind of stuff at all. So I can at least say that Selena has some type of self-awareness, and I think the self-awareness, as much as it's good in a situation like this where she is openly telling her fans not to hate on other people, is also what gets her in trouble sometimes. And so we're going to talk about some more recent scandals. Honorable mention before we get into the very last, major section of this video, I do have to mention Kidneygate because I don't know a better place to put it anywhere in the current timeline that we're going off of. If you're unfamiliar, Selena suffered organ damage related to her lupus, and her friend ended up donating her kidney to Selena. This happened in 2017, and the two had a rumored fallout shortly after, which is interesting considering that if one person donates a kidney to another person, you'd think that they'd probably be pretty close. And when this surfaced, it of course led people to speculate and be like, okay, if Selena had a falling out with somebody who managed to give her a kidney, then maybe the problem is Selena. Like, maybe she just can't maintain normal friendships no matter how strong the bond is. Maybe it's starting to reflect on her and not necessarily all of the people who she is surrounded by throughout her life. Which definitely, I guess, holds some weight if you're not thinking about it too critically. I definitely know people in my personal life who always seem to have some kind of problem and drama and falling out with everyone else around them, and they never question whether or not the issue is actually them. Francia added that it had nothing to do with the kidney, which makes me think, like, what was it about then if it wasn't about the kidney? Anyway, let's get into the last major bulk part of this video. Okay, so this last section mostly has to do with Selena's social media presence and occasional lack thereof, depending on the time of day, basically. So Selena posts on Instagram and TikTok quite a bit, and she's gained a bit of a reputation for what we'll call pick-me behavior, that not like other girls style of personality. She's kind of always talking about how she is single up until very recently, and it definitely rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I think this aspect of her personality that she's very open to sharing, combined with all of the drama she's been involved in over the years, has caused people to turn on her a bit, and if anything, just perceive her as very juvenile. Like, it seems kind of high school sometimes. I'll play a quick compilation so you can see what I mean here.
So, my name is Bella Hadid.
Guess who has a boyfriend? Not me, bitch. Y'all be safe out there.
Guys, I figured out the reason why I'm single.
No, I'm fine. I'm totally fine being single. It's a real thing. It's fine.
Last time I was single, I was 24 and the dating pool was everyone.
Holla at me for what?
You said what?
Holla at me for what?
I'm single!
But one reason I'm really excited to host SNL is because I'm single. I want a boyfriend. It's kind of what I want right now. I've been single for 2 years.
Because of this sort of cat and mouse game where Selena either inadvertently or purposefully antagonizes people who want to hate on her for this kind of shit, she frequently announces social media breaks. This is not new for her. She has done this a lot over the course of her career, and fair play to her. I'm addicted to the internet, so I could never do it. Her most recent notable break was in October when she posted about Israel and Palestine. Basically, she kind of said some standard celebrity empty platitudes about how we all need to protect everyone, there's too much hate and violence in the world, save the children, the kind of statement that totally doesn't make you appear privileged and out of touch, while people on the ground have no choice but to constantly broadcast themselves in a horrific situation in order to get the rest of the world to pay attention to their needs. This got buried a bit, only because so many celebrities did some dumb shit during this whole month that it didn't seem too notable in the grand scheme of things, but just today, Selena decided to make her long-awaited return to being chronically online. And with that came new discourse about her boyfriend and her admitted willful ignorance to world events and catastrophes, and as you'd guess, people are not taking that super well. Okay, so let me break this down in layman's terms. Basically, Selena Gomez came back to Instagram. She made it IG official with her new boyfriend, Benny Blanco, who is a music producer. And in some comments on Instagram about their relationship, basically she said that Benny is better than anyone she's ever been with, which is a really weird thing to say for somebody that you're dating. Like, just point blank period. Why would you say that about anyone you're dating, as if you have anything to prove to anybody? You don't. You're Selena Gomez and you're 31 years old. Like, date who you want to date. And then, as you saw in that screenshot, somebody commented and they were like, wow, you're doing the most to defend your new relationship when nobody asked you to, but you won't speak up about Palestine. Essentially, that's what the watermelon emoji in that screenshot means. And she was like, yeah, you're right. And after this, she announced that she was going on yet another social media break, and for all intents and purposes, it is a rough time to be Selena Gomez or Selena Gomez's publicist right now. After doing all of this research, the conclusion I've come to with all of this is that Selena sort of represents this idea of Schrodinger's celebrity to me. I feel like no matter what she says or does, there are two distinct camps of people who will interpret it and misinterpret it differently based on what narrative they're trying to portray of her, and I think she likes it that way. I think as much as she doesn't try to portray it that way, like she tries to appear above all of the drama, she does sort of feed into it a little bit. And that can only take you so far when you're forced to contend with the fact that there are a lot bigger problems happening in the world right now than your relationship, and it's up to you as the celebrity who is media trained somewhat to be able to respond to that appropriately in a way that doesn't make you come off like a huge asshole. I firmly believe that if Selena Gomez did not have social media, she would be one of the most well-liked celebrities out there. And I guess the reason why I think this is because of an anecdotal example. She stars in Only Murders in the Building on Hulu with Steve Martin and Martin Short. I actually haven't seen the show, but my parents love it, and my dad, who is like a 60-year-old man, you know, Disney Channel wasn't exactly his target demographic, does not have any social media accounts, is the farthest thing you can possibly get to terminally online, and his favorite actress is Selena, based purely on the fact that he likes the show, likes her personality, and thinks that she comes off funny and likable. And I think that's what most people would like to believe about her, and it's why she has such a fierce fan base. But I think her critical flaw here is that while she's able to embrace that relatability and it makes people like her, she can't control it when it comes to putting her thoughts out into the ether unfiltered. It makes her come off a certain way, especially to a younger demographic and a younger audience, that reads as pick-me or desperate or always starting drama. So here's to hoping that she can find a way to balance that for the sake of her own mental health and for her career, but it's a little bit more difficult to come back from now that you have this whole, you know, ignorant stance on world events thing hanging over your head. That's all from me today, you guys. Let me know who you would like me to focus on next for the January episode of How the Internet Fell Out of Love. I'm going to go drink some Panera charged lemonade and see how long it takes me to pass out and die. Thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time.